What comes next? Proto. What's a proto? Short for prototype. What is the need for a proto? Well, we've designed a garment, we've flat sketched it, we've filled it in, we've fabricated, we've figured out what trim and bells and whistles we're going to hang on it. Now you actually have to see a physical sample. And that's really all it is. Prototyping is the way to get through the process and enable us to see how all of your 2D ideas translated into 3D form. We have to test fabric. How is that fabric actually going to cut and sew? How is that spec that we put together for a neck opening going to fit? We get to see that ultimately on a human form when we get to fit the garments. The proto really is such a critical part because it's identifying at the front end stage maybe what the issues might present themselves to be in production. It's very hard to identify what's coming down the pike until you actually sink your teeth into it. For example, let's say we're working on a ladies' knitted pant and the samples are coming out extremely well. They're cutting beautifully, there's no problem with the fabric, there's tailoring yardage that was available at the mill that they sent over, your elastic waistband is beautiful, everything's fitting, it's perfect, it's an ideal scenario. But let's also identify the fact that we know that in production, certain things are going to come up to haunt us that didn't happen in the sample phase. On the flip side, we've got a trouble child, and the proto is not executing. You've got a wool that's too thick for the needles, or you can't do the binding because the fabric is sandwiching too much, and you've got like a thick corned beef sandwich that you can't get through. So these things are the tools for us to be able to navigate and manipulate the garment so that going into the next phase, into the next fit sample, we get to make those adjustments and take the corrective measures necessary in order to make them production ready.